Hello, folks. This is the one and only Natasha. So, what we're going to do today, we're going to do something a little different today. We are going to basically get back some karmic retribution for things that were done that I find to be very criminal acts, such as stalking. So, it's just YouTuber on YouTube. His YouTube name is King_Wurld. And he basically he's not creative at all because he uses the McDonald logo upside down, which you should not do. That's still stealing. So basically he's a thief. Instead of being creative doing his own logo, he takes the McDonald's logo and turns it upside down to show as the world, as King World, when we know he's not a king. But I'm going to go ahead and do something which I haven't done in a long time. But just work with me here because I haven't done this in a long time, but I do remember it. Now you can see his picture here. That's, of course, he went to jail, and so they did take a mugshot of him. But when you type in his name, you see a lot of videos about him, like a lot of videos, negative videos. There's over 138 videos just about him alone. Negative videos about people just talking bad about him and how he's angry person. And when you go to his particular site, which is this logo here, when you click on it, all you see he talks about for days and hours. Now let's look at it. He just talks about Jaguar every single day. I mean, look at this. 1, 2, 3 hours. This is not the video. These are like 1 hour, 2 hours. I mean, he had one. Here's the lives that he does. The lives are the longest thing. 5 hours. Look at this. 5 hours, 3 hours, 8 hours. Look at this. 8 hours. Eight hours. 8 freaking hours. He was online 4 days ago. Okay, this guy has nothing better to do. He's apparently not working. I guess YouTube is his only job. Look at this, where it says receipts. 10 hours on YouTube. Wow. 3 hours, 3 hours, 4.5 hours, 8 hours. Look at this, 8 hours. You see the McDonald? That's him right there. McDonald upside down. That's McDonald should copyright him. Seriously, take him to court for that. Everything is about Jaguar. Every single thing. He has an obsession with this woman. Look, 2 hours, 2 hours, 5 hours of talk time. He spends all his day and time just talking about Jaguar all day. 6 hours, 6 hours, 4.5 hours, 5 hours. This guy is worse than a woman. I thought women talk. This man spends 10 hours talking? Who does that? Everything is about the shortest one is about 31 minutes, but everything is 3, 4, 5 hours, 8 hours, 6 hours. This guy is obsessed with Jaguar. First it was Nature Boy that he was obsessed with. See, he didn't have any subscribers. He only had like, I think 10 subscribers. And because of Jaguar and he was on Perry's show, it jumped up to 14,000. So now he's getting some sort of, he's getting paid. He's getting monetized for this now. And he also takes cash apps. And he has a very mean spirit and disposition about him, even when he speaks. I was on his panel. I mean, when he's nice, but he has a very mean disposition about him, especially when he's angry. And we'll talk about that just looking at his chart. Yeah, he spends 6, 7, 8 hours just talking, which is not bad since he has a criminal record. So, I mean, okay. So, yeah, that's all it just goes on and on and on. And he speaks for... I thought women speak a lot, but this guy bypassed women. Okay, so now he has about 14,000 subscribers, 316 videos. And he's been on, how long he's been on? I mean, I've been on YouTube since 2006. He came in on 2016. That's when he joined YouTube. He joined YouTube August 17th, 2016. That's when he joined, which makes sense since he was paroled back in 2013. Now let's talk about this guy's past. Okay, so this is what I've discovered just by searching him, right? So, okay. So basically, he was convicted in July 21st. No, he was convicted on July 11th, 2006, right, for robbery with a dangerous weapon. Okay, so I guess he robbed someone. I don't know the details of it. I would have to go in through my LexisNexis, but I don't have the details right now. I'm not trying to go into it right now. He was released, I believe, August 15th, 2013. So that's his release date, August 15th, 2013. But he was sentenced to 10 years and 2 months in prison, right? He was admitted in prison. He started his term in July 21st, 2006. Now, yeah, July 2006. Let's see here. Well, so he was convicted of a robbery with dangerous weapon. So he had a dangerous weapon and he did rob someone. He was released on August 15th, 2013. The maximum term was 10 years and 2 months. But his parole ended in May 12, 2014. Okay, so his parole began on August 15th when he was released, and it ended on May 12, 2014. So he did his time, which is good, right? And these are all the things he's been charged with: robbery with dangerous weapon, failure to stop for an accident. Wow, that was October 21st, 2005. So I guess all of these charges are together since they have different docket number. So yeah, he's been doing this for quite some time. Class D, class 1 misdemeanor, driving without a driver's license. Okay, this is in 1998. Okay, so he went to jail for 5 months. That was back in April 7th, 1998. He was convicted and he was released. So he was convicted on April 7th, 1998. His sentence began on September 5th, 1998. He was released less than a year later. He was released in January 21st, 1999. Okay, probation revocation. So I guess, his probation was revoked. Possession. I guess he possessed a firearm or some sort of weapon. And he was a registered felony as of August 22nd, 1996, according to this here. Okay, it shows concurrent sentences. Let's go back here. Okay, it shows here concurrent to sentences: robbery with dangerous weapon, September 3rd, 1998, Class D. Attempted. Oh wow, he injured somebody when he did that when he left the accident. So he did injure someone. Okay, let's see here. So that's most of the crimes that he was charged with. Now, I did another search again. I do show his most recent crime was this here. It shows as filing date was March 12th, 2019. He basically harassed someone. And the judge, and this was in California. Last refresh was April 18th, 2023. That's today. Okay, the plaintiff is Crenshaw Nicole Renee. Okay, that's his name, Marquisio Watson. So he has a history of harassing women here. It's a tort, of course, because it's civil harassment prevention. It started on April 19th. That's when they did the minute order. There was a hearing on April 24th, 2019. Restraining order hearing dismissed. It shows lack of prosecution. Docket event was April 24th. Okay, lack of prosecution. Okay, that's the minute order order of issuance, filed on petitioner, okay. Held reissued, TRO. So the restraining order was reissued on April 3rd, 2019. So it was issued on April 3rd, 2019, the restraining order. As you can see that here. This guy, well, it isn't, I'm not gonna even sign up for this, but let's go back. So that's what I'm gonna show you. So he has a history of harassing people. Now, what I'm going to show you now is, let's look at his birth chart. That's my favorite thing to do. Now, I don't do this typically, but this guy pissed me off when he started stalking Jaguar and sending random strangers to her location, to her 2 location. That is a criminal act. And I wanted to go ahead and dox him now because he's doing something. I'm going to do something to him so he can feel how it feels to be stalked. Okay, so he was born on February 25th, 1978, according to the court records, right? When you add everything up, his life path number is 7. What does 7 mean? 7 is all about truth. 7 is about, to me, 7 is truth, is seeking knowledge, seeking truth. That's the purpose of the number 7. So when you add all the digits of his birthday together, he is a life path 7. Now, his purpose, why he came here and whatever, this is for numerology, is basically to seek truth and knowledge, and using that truth and knowledge for the betterment of society. Not to cause trouble, not to stalk people, not to harass people. That's the purpose, okay? And his personal year this year is actually 7. So he's going to find some revelation, some truth. But 7 is a very lonely year, but it can also be a rewarding year for you because you can actually, since his year is this year, 2025 adds up to number 7, and his birthday, February 25th, 1978, is also number 7. So this year could be a lucrative year for him to gain based off of truth. Okay. So maybe that's why he's obtained all these subscribers, because what he's doing is basically putting out the truth there about Jaguar, using her information. But again, the way he's obtaining the truth is the problem. And so we're going to go ahead and get into that. So now let's look at his birth chart here. Now, so like I said, his perfection and also his perfection year is the 9th house. What is the 9th house? Well, since he's 45 years old, let's go ahead and look at the perfection year here. And you'll see what I'm talking about when it comes to the perfection year. Okay, here it is. So when it comes to perfection years, it shows what house is activated in the chart. He's 45 years old. So the house that's activated will be the 9th house. What is the 9th house? 9th house is the house of truth. It's the Sagittarius house, right? It's the house of law, courts, legal, religion, travel, wisdom, philosophy, higher education such as universities. It's about religion, like I said, learning certain, it's about learning, it's traveling, cross-cultural relations, learning, and also ethics. So this is the perfection wheel, if you guys want to know what that is. So every year, something is activated in your chart, and based off of how old you are. So he's 45. So let me make this bigger so you guys can see it. Oh, crap. Sorry about that. Let's go back. Okay, so here is the perfection wheel chart. So if you can notice here, you'll see it has numbers around here. See, it goes 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So this is... Okay, hold on. I think this is wrong. This is not a perfection chart, because it should be the 9th house. Hold on, guys. Okay, here it is. Here's a perfection chart. Here's one. Okay, so 45, you see these number here? Oh, it is. Okay, let me see. So 41, 42, 43, 44. Yeah, he turned 45. So his 10th house is activated. So his 10th house of career and attention is activated. Because he's 45 years old, 1978. Yeah, that's 45 years old. So what's activated is, yeah, 44 was ninth house. Now it's the fifth house is 45 years old. So now he's 45 years old. His 10th house is activated. And I think Jaguar, isn't Jaguar the same age as him? Both of their 10th house is activated. And what 10th house is the career. It's the career sector. It's how you're seen by the public. It's how people see you. It's your career. It's your, let me see something here. Just give me a second. I just want to make sure it's the 10th house. Yeah, it is the 10th house actually. Yeah, 10th house is career, fame, reputation, profession, and public. Your public, like how you're being seen to the world. So your career, fame, reputation, profession, and public. So this year he's going through his 7th year, which is based off his numerology path. And then the perfection year is the 10th house. So he has the 10th house being highlighted, meaning he's being seen, whether it's negative or positive. People are seeing him. His reputation has changed. And it's true, because if you notice, he gained 14,000 followers. He's now monetized. He's gaining a lot of attention and a lot of money through Cash Apps because his obsession with Jag. Stalking Jag every day, going on lives for 8 hours. Because of that, he's becoming infamous, as you would say. So that's one of the things. So yeah, he's going through a 10th house perfection year, which is, he's 45 years old. It starts this year. So yeah. So basically, you see this chart here. So the 45 is right there. So that's the 10th house. And the 10th house is fame, your career, your status, and how you're seen to the public. 4th house is the opposite. It's the home, the family, the private life, whereas the 10th house is the public life. So he's going through a shift in career, and people are noticing him more. And that's why he's getting all this attention, recognition. Now, I don't know his chart because I don't know his date of birth. I'm sorry, the time he was born. So I can pinpoint his ascendant. But I can tell you his personality based off of his chart, based off of his sun sign. The sun sign is you, your identity, who you are. The ascendant is basically your personality, what you show to the world and what's happening. The sun sign is what you are doing. The ascendant is what's happening and your personality and what's going on in your chart. The moon sign is how you feel about it, your emotion and what happens. Okay, so we're going to just do his sun sign, since the sun represents the male and also his identity and who he is as a person. Okay, because I don't have his time of birth to determine his ascendant. Okay, so here is his chart based off his date of birth. If you notice, I put the sun right there on the ascendant because we're just focusing on his sun chart, right? So he's a 6 degrees Pisces. He has Mercury right next to his Pisces. Right? His Mercury is at 5 degrees. So they're basically kissing each other. And it's in the sign of Pisces. Now, Pisces is a very kind of, they have its good and bad traits of every single sign. Pisces represents the 12th house of the zodiac. The 12th house is the hidden house. It's hidden. It's like, and if you look at the symbol of Pisces, it's 2 fishes. And they're basically swimming in opposite directions, because Pisces can get a little confused and a little spaced out sometimes. And the negative part of Pisces is that they are loners and they can indulge in drugs. They can indulge in drugs to make them feel better. Drugs and alcohol. I used to be with a Pisces. Two of them. I told myself I would never be with a Pisces again because they're just crazy. But one of them, he's a computer engineer, and he would drink. Not a lot. He knew how. Of course, he was a computer engineer. He didn't drink that much, but every time I was with him, he would drink, and I'm like, "Yo, why are you always drinking?" He was like, "Oh, I'm just used to it." I said, "You can hold liquor." Like, yo, if I drank that, I would fall asleep. He's like, "Oh, no." And he drinks hard liquor like whiskey, like nothing, because, it's a water sign and it's like 2 fishes. There's and, but he was not an alcoholic at all. It's just he would drink often. Not too often. He was not addicted to it, but he always had to have a glass of drink or something. Good thing he didn't indulge in cocaine, drugs, or anything. It was just a drink of whiskey. And this other Pisces I knew, he was in the military. His ass is crazy. Like, he had anger problems like it ain't nothing. His anger was beyond, you would think he was in jail, in prisons. He spent time in prison because his anger was crazy. Like, and he would just go off for no reason, off of a tangent for no, absolutely no reason. And I'm like, well, are you okay? But of course, he had PTSD as well. And he would smoke marijuana. And, I knew him from high school, but we reconnected. And I was like, what the hell happened to you? Like, you're just a pothead. Like, and plus me, I don't like being with a man that smokes and indulges in drugs. I think I personally think this is my own opinion, that if you indulge in drugs every single day, like marijuana, pot, and all that other stuff, that means, you're a pothead. I don't want to be with a pothead or a stoner. Like, who wants to be with a person that can't even, that needs drugs in order to make them feel better, like make them feel whole and happy? I don't need any substance to make me feel whole and happy, make me feel mellow or better. It's just, I have my mind to do that for me. I think happy, I am happy, like I don't need any drugs to alter my mindset. But again, Pisces indulge in these things. And they don't see nothing wrong with it, but they do it in secret, like you won't see it. When they do it in secret, and they hide everything about themselves. They won't tell you nothing. But a lot of serial killers were Pisces, because Pisces is the sign of secrecy. Okay, so his sun is 6 degrees. 6 degrees is the degree of Virgo. So that means part of his job, what he likes to do, he likes to work and something that's secret, or it could be media. Oh, that's what he's doing, guys. He's doing media, because Pisces is a sign of media. You can't really see it. It's just there, right? But you just hear it. So number 6 is the Virgo's degree. Virgo represents work and duty. And then it's in a sign of Pisces. So he could work in some sort of plant or ocean, anything that has to do with water, fishes, or even the media, or anything that's delusional, or something hidden, or even the government, something that's hidden, or private investigator, or anything like that. He would like to do that. Okay. Now he does have Mercury right next to it. So his Mercury is at 5 degrees of Pisces. To me, that's kind of, he changes his tune a lot. 5 is change, right? 5, he loves to talk. 5 is also the Leo's degree. That means he enjoys talking and also researching and doing things that are underhanded. He enjoys that. And then but his sun is blocking his Mercury. When the sun combusts Mercury, that means stuff that he does may not be good. He may do stuff just to obtain something, but it may not be a good thing for him to do. Again, the 12th house is the hidden house. A lot of criminals there. It's rehab centers. It's the relaxation house. It's the house of self-undoing of alcoholics. It's the house of expenditure, loss, waste. What else? It's a house of secret enemies. So he probably, secret enemies too. He'll always have secret enemies because of that. And he may even dream about siblings or communicating. He probably even talks in his dreams. I don't know, because of course I have to look at the ascendant. This is just his chart, but it's a possibility he may talk in his sleep. Now from this chart, he does have Venus in Pisces. So he does like a woman that's mysterious, someone that's has addiction just like him. He loves addiction. He's probably addicted to something, because Pisces, and he has Venus right there, definitely. And he probably loves music, media, anything that has to do with media. He loves it. Anything that has to do with stuff that's not real, he probably loves it as well, because Venus is right there. And the type of woman he have are a victimized woman, and he probably he probably meets or victimized women, or he probably get high with women. He probably does getting high with a lot of women, but he loves it. And his Venus is trine Mars. Let's look at his Mars. His Mars, remember, Mars is action, your anger, your ability, you know, how do you assert yourself? He has Chiron in the second house. So for him, what wounds him the most is money, his value system. So he can be easily triggered or wounded when he feels, when he doesn't feel value as a person. Even with his family could have wounded him. Perhaps his mother. I don't know his relationship with his mother, but we're going to get to that. I'm sure he had a bad relationship with his mother, but who wounded him the most was his family, and also his self-esteem, self-worth, and self-value, definitely, and money. Losing money will wound his identity. I mean, he ties his identity to how much he makes. If he doesn't have money, he feels he's nothing. But if you want to trigger this guy, make him feel not valuable, and you will trigger the monster in him. He does have his luck, of course, is Jupiter in what sign? It's in Gemini. Where he gets his luck is through writing, communicating, but Jupiter is opposing and squaring a lot of stuff. So, I mean, his luck is going to be based off of Jupiter opposing what? Neptune. His luck is going to be doing something that's delusional, or something that's hidden, that's out of sight, out of mind. Because Jupiter was the planet of luck. It's opposing Neptune. Neptune is all about hidden things. It's about deception. So sometimes he obtains his money through deceptive ways or things, or through media, or through something that cannot be seen, or through theft, media, through different means. But the opposition is through other people. It's not to himself. It's through other people. He does have a square to the nodes. So when you have a square to the nodes, that means he came here to learn not to be doing stuff like that. And he can be his own enemy. He can be his own enemy. Now we do have his Mars. Remember, Mars is action, his anger, and all that stuff. Does he have Mars in retrograde? Let me see. Holy crap. His Mars is retrograde, guys. When you have Mars retrograde, that means, oh my gosh, he could be passive aggressive, and also he has a lot of repressed anger. His anger is so repressed, like he can blow up at any time on you. And Mars at 22 degrees, oh, he has no control over his anger when he's upset. And he's emotional when he's upset, because he has it in Cancer. The Cancer is all about, it's ruled the moon. The moon is ruled by women. A woman can make him upset. His emotions, how he feel, can make him upset. And I don't think he probably, yeah, women make him upset a lot. He probably, because 22 is the domestic violence degree, like he probably hits women. I don't know everything about him, but I did hear on another live that he had domestic abuse or something like that. I'm not surprised. Once I see Mars retrograde at 22 degrees, 22 degrees is a very deadly degree. It's a very deadly degree. And it's funny. I wouldn't say it's funny. It's weird, because he was charged for possessing a deadly weapon. Mars is weapon. And 22 is deadly. Deadly weapon. And it's retrograde. So internally he feels, once he feels emotional about something, he's going to go out there and do something about it. He's going to take an emotional action. And that's what lands him in prison. Because his action is never thought out. It's emotional. That's why he was cursing this woman out, just because the woman, he didn't like what she said. He automatically cursed her out. He didn't care who was in the room. Because once he's upset, all logic goes out the door. He has no control over his emotions once he's upset. And it is displayed right here in his chart. It's trining Uranus. Uranus is unexpected. He can unexpectedly blow up on somebody, and everything is internalized. And he just externally puts it, and he can be gaslighting people too. Because when you have Uranus retrograde and Mars retrograde trining each other, yeah, you're a manipulator for sure. He's definitely a manipulator, and he does have a lot of women victims as well. Let's see here. Saturn. We're going to talk about his karma. His karma is his work. His Saturn is retrograde. Anytime a planet is retrograde, that means they're redoing a lifetime of karma as it relates to the planet and also the house it's in and also the sign. This case, it's Leo. The work he has to constantly work at is his ego and pride. Leo is all about attention, ego, and pride. And I've seen this firsthand with him where he would get jealous of other content creators when, number one, they don't put his name on the thumbnail, they don't invite him to the show, or when he doesn't get an interview with a person, he'll curse them out because he has no control, of course. He'll curse them out. He doesn't like being told no. And his fault is seeking attention to the detriment, because Leo is a sign of attention. It's also the sign of fame, right? So he has Saturn there. So he's going to have to work extra hard to get that. And everything is internalized because he feels he's a king. And Leo is a king. It's a sign of the king. But when you have Saturn there retrograde, you're going to get it. But I mean, you're going to get all the attention, but it's not going to be good attention. And it's going to be taken away from you. Because guess what? Saturn is now approaching his sun. Saturn is in Pisces right now. So everything he's hiding will come back up for review. Saturn is going to kill him. Now Saturn right now is about to hit his Mercury. When Saturn touches Mercury, oh my gosh, everything he's done. Remember, Saturn is the planet of karma. And it's weird because I said that when I got upset with him when he stalked Jag. When Saturn conjuncts a planet, it does something. It's something happens. So Saturn is very close to his Mercury. He's probably feeling the effects right now because people are calling him out, doing videos on him, exposing his past. There you go. Mercury is what? Communication. Saturn is what? The authority figure. He wants to set the record straight for what you did in the past. It's karma. And Pisces is the sign of hidden things. So the planet of reality and karma isn't a sign of hidden things. No. Whatever you hide is going to come back up. Through what? Mercury, communication, writing. And that's exactly what's happening, folks. That's exactly what's happening. You see? You see where Saturn is? Saturn is right there. That's the transiting Saturn. Saturn is right there. It's at 4 degrees. His Mercury is at 5 degrees. It's going to hit it at the end of this month. Actually, in a few days, it's going to hit that. But he's already feeling the influence because I'm putting this video out. People are going to know about him through astrology and the things I've presented. And then it's going to hit his sun. Once it hits his sun, oh my gosh, his reputation is going to be wiped out. I wouldn't say wiped out. His reputation, everything about him will be exposed for the world to view. His ego will be crushed. Because what Saturn does is give you a reality check and karma comes back to you. So when Saturn hits his sun, the sun is the ego, the sun is the soul, the sun is the identity, the career. I'm not sure what's going to happen because, again, I don't have his ascendant. But definitely he will feel retribution for the things he's done in the past, for sure. And it's going to hurt his soul. It's going to hurt his identity. It's going to hurt his ego when Saturn conjuncts it. And it's going to happen in May. I'm telling you guys, it will happen in May. And on top of that, there's a lunar eclipse that's going to touch this planet right here, Uranus, at 16 degrees of Scorpio. When this touches this, something unexpected is going to happen to him. Okay, and that's next month. Okay, now let's move on. So Saturn, of course, his problem is his ego. His main problem this lifetime, his karma is his ego. Everything is internalized for him. So instead of dealing with what's internal, He deals with it externally through people. That's bad because his Saturn is squared Uranus, and Uranus is going to be unexpected karma. He gets unexpected karma. And guess what? Saturn is opposing, guess what? Saturn opposes, let's look at here, opposes his Mercury. See? Saturn is already, so that's going to be a big hit. Saturn opposes his Mercury. He's going to feel that through communication. His karma is going to come through communication or media for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. This month and next month, you're going to see it. Okay? Now, let's go to his mother. His moon, his north node, how he feels inside and everything. His moon, which is right here, is 5 degrees Libra. Oh my gosh, his moon is right next to my sun. And my sun is shining its light on his moon. Things that he wants hidden, I'm exposing that shit because the sun, that's what my sun does. It exposes whatever. So he has the moon and north node together. When you have the moon conjunct the north node, your main issue is your emotions. And he has it in Libra. The way he treats women, because the moon is women and also your emotions, and it's in a sign of Libra. Libra means other people. And what rules Libra? Venus. What is Venus? Venus is right here in Pisces. So he has a lot of victims as women, definitely. But he has to overcome his issues with women. He has a lot of karma with women, unresolved problems with his mom and woman. It stems from his mother. Something happened between him and his mother that makes him treat women like crap. And on top of that, his Pluto is destruction, is death and rebirth. Pluto is internalized because it's retrograde. It has it in Libra. But his Pluto is conjunct with the moon and north node. That is bad. Oh my gosh. That means he's possibly beats women. When he's upset, everything is internalized. He may beat the person and lie about it because Neptune is right here. It trines it. But yeah, he has anger issues and it all stems from his mother. See, North Node is your destiny point, what you need to learn. He needs to learn how to manage his emotions when it comes to women and not blow up and explode every time. Because he's very manipulative and everything is internalized. He's manipulative and he may beat women. Because Pluto next to the moon and North Node is either that person was sexually abused. He may have been sexually abused, I don't know, by other people. I don't have his ascendant. Or he may sexually abuse people physically, mentally, or verbally. But all of this is internalized and it's right next to the moon. So he's a moon in Libra, which is good. Moon in Libra is good. They love people. But when you have it in the north, next to the north node, you have issues when it comes to relating to others. You cannot keep a relationship. It's hard. You'll probably change a lot of relationships due to your compulsive behavior and your anger. This is explosive anger. Pluto is explosive anger when it comes to, guess what, others, relationships. He definitely had a tough relationship with his mother. Definitely. Big time. I don't know what the mother did to him. I wish I had his ascendant. I would be able to tell you. But what he needs to learn this lifetime is how to control his emotion when it comes to women. Women triggers his emotions and it stems from his mother, the relationship he had with his mother. I don't think he knew his father. Yeah, I don't think he knows who his father is. So he has resentment and anger towards women. He doesn't even know it because it's internalized. But when it comes out through anger, fighting, physical activity, like, outrage. So he needs to learn how to manage that anger he has because it's explosive. It can be very dangerous. So women needs to chill out and, he needs to heal himself from whatever happened to his mother. I don't know what happened, but something happened here. It could be abuse, molestation. I don't know, but something definitely happened here. But there's a lesson to be learned from that relationship he had with his mother and with women. He has Uranus here. It's retrograde. Uranus is basically independence. It's freedom. He likes freedom when it comes to his private life. He internalizes everything. And this trines that. So he probably has sexual relationships with men, or even have threesomes, or he's very kinky or something. Because when you have Mars trine Uranus and both are retrograde, there's some sort of, you may have sexual relationships with groups of men, or even like men and women. I don't know. It's just something about that. Now let's look at the squares. So Pluto was in his 11th house of friendship. So he lost a lot of friends, right? So now it's, if you notice, it's moving into his 12th house. Pluto, what it does is transform your network in the 11th house of friendship. When it moved to the 12th house, he's going to experience a lot of death and rebirth. A lot of changes and you know, things he's going to experience that. But in his business and work, he had a lot of changes when it came to his networks and friends. A lot of death and rebirth changes. When I say death and rebirth, like ending of relationships and starting new ones when it comes to his work life, or even just friends in general. So Pluto is going into his 12th house. He's going to experience losses here as well. It's going to start. It's going to start very soon. It's probably, yeah. I mean, Pluto takes a long time to move, so it's still in his 11th house. Yeah, it's still in his 11th house. So he's still experiencing up and down when it comes to friends and work friends and stuff like that. So that's his chart, folks. So his main motivation to steal is money. Look, that's the wounded warrior. That's why he steals. He stole McDonald's logo and put it upside down. That's still theft. He was convicted for robbery with a deadly weapon. So he robbed someone because of money. Everything he does is motivated by money. And that's why he got karma, you know. And then he has issues with his emotions, his mother, and just beating women. Or he was molested. I don't know. It was some sort of sexual, something happened to him. And because if you look at this right here, you see Venus, it quincunxes Pluto. He has an explosive relationship with women. Yeah, I think Pluto. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a quincunx. He has a weird relationship with women, but he lives off of women. But he's a loner because he was born on the 25th. The number 7 is a loner, and they like isolation a lot. So to re-energize themselves, they need to just cut off everything and just they like to be in a room by themselves with no interruption. They're loners at the end of the day. They isolate themselves. But yeah, this is what I have on this guy, guys. And this is his chart. But he's going through a Saturn. Saturn is hitting his Mercury and his Sun plus his Venus. He's going to go through a lot of karma when it comes to his career, his communication, and also women, especially his Sun and Mercury. That's happening next month. And then there's going to be something unexpected happen next month. Probably emotionally driven. But he's going through some major karmic stuff. And like I said, I told him this, and do not stalk people. You shouldn't stalk a person, especially if you know your ass have so many things. He stalked that woman. He sent 2 people after her, and he was probably responsible for having them pick her up. The police officer pick her up. He's a criminal. He does anything for a buck for cash apps. Look at this guy. I'm sure he's online right now because he has nothing better to do. He has no job. He lives off of women. I think any man that lives off of women should be ashamed of themselves. They're losers. They're like scrubs. But at least he's making money right now, but hopefully he gives it to the woman that took care of him. I just detest any man that dislikes, that lives off of women. I just think that's just, ugh. That's that's just bad. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna see. Okay, so he spent 10 years. So when he got convicted in jail back in 2006, his Mars was activated. And Mars is retrograde in Cancer. And he went to jail at 28 years old. His Mars was activated. And when his Mars became activated, it sent his ass straight to jail. And he got out in 2013. He was the age of 35. He had a Saturn return at that age. So, and now his 10th house is activated. So his career is being highlighted right now. So let's see here. He probably is going to have a good year, but it's going to be up and down. He needs to stop what he's doing because 10th house, everybody sees you, including the government. And he needs to be very careful because the 10th house is your career. It's ruled by Saturn. And his Saturn is retrograde, so he has a lot of past due karma. So this is a chart I normally use, but since I had to I had to make his sun the first house, and I don't know the time he was born, I had to use the other chart. But this is the one I normally use because I study a tropical with a hint of Vedic astrology. And right now, the dasha he's running right now, if this is correct, let me see. The dasha he's running is, what year? We were in April 2020. Okay, he's running a Jupiter dasha. So right now, for the past 3 years, he was running Jupiter. Jupiter's, I think, 16 years. Yeah, for the past 16 years, he's gonna be in Jupiter dasha until, oh crap, why this? He's gonna be in Jupiter dasha until 2024, until July. So right now, Jupiter is in Gemini, right? And Jupiter opposes his Neptune, which makes a lot of sense. See why he's in media so much. And his ego is making him, yeah. See, Jupiter opposes his Neptune. Neptune is media. And his Jupiter's in Gemini, basically communication. So that's probably why he went into media and started going online and talking all those talks because of that. And let's see here. So he's going through the dasha of this. Again, this is Vedic astrology, Indian, ancient astrology. And so he's going through the Jupiter dasha until July 8, 2024. Right now he's in Jupiter Mars dasha. So you're going to hear him being very emotional. He's going to be a lot of emotional. A lot of women is going to be he's going to talk to a lot of women, and he's probably going to be he's going to be emotional because Jupiter and Moon together. Yes, you're going to talk to women, which he has been doing. He's been talking to over 10 hours, just like a woman, with women. He gained a lot of women subscribers, which, of course, he has Moon in Libra. And he has, been on lives for over hours, for multiple hours with women. And he gains a lot of women subscribers. So this makes absolutely sense. His dasha is Jupiter and Moon right now. In August, it will turn to Jupiter and Mars. So if I were him, I would be careful in August because Mars is what landed him in jail. His actions, his emotional actions without thinking. He needs to meditate and learn how to meditate, learn how to calm his nerves and heal whatever happened to him when he was younger with him and his mother, because that's what will follow him wherever he goes. Now, that's what I wanted to talk about as it relates to this King Wurld fella. Okay, so now what we're going to talk about is something else. We're going to talk about, damn it, I wanted to show it. Where is it? Oh, yeah, I was going to show you guys something. There it is. Okay. So Legina, okay. Open a case with her, right? Look. Look, guys. Her mother, Gwendolyn de Jesus. Mother. Okay, that was back in 2013. The mother gave her up because the mother was in jail. I'm sorry, the mother was on drugs. She gave her up to this woman named Johnson Sheena. She gave up custody to her. Okay? So she gave custody to John Sheena Johnson. And that she was the petitioner. So they gave up guardianship and custody to Legina from her mother, Gwendolyn de Jesus, to the Sheena Johnson because the mother was on drugs, basically. And the mother didn't file to get her back or anything because she was on drugs. So that makes a lot of sense. So that was back in 2012, if you notice. Look at the dates here. 2012, 2013. So, let's see, what else? Minor, guardian minor. And that's how I found out her age was May 25th, 1995, which she is 28 years old. So, guys, don't listen to nothing Legina's telling you. She is lying. She's not 30 years old. Her ass is 28, and she does have a twin brother. So, you see all the names here. You see Sheena Johnson. That was her legal guardian. And she was getting a check every month. Gwendolyn de Jesus, that was her mother. That is her mother. And it states it right here. Okay. Let's see, leave here. Crap. This is Michigan State Records, guys. It's free. I was going to show you where it shows, what is her last name? Owusu. Acknowledgement. Look at this. Look at her date of birth, guys. You see? May 25th, 1995. And this is Michigan Court Records, guys. Probate records. Let's look at this. Let's go back. Let's look at this. Let's look at linked case. Look at all these cases. Let's look at the 2008. Look at 2008. I want to see what's in there. Look at Shirley Franklin. You see? Petition to appoint guardian of a minor initials. Shirley Franklin. And I heard the relative say that name. Look at that. So she was the guardian after the mom gave her up. Shirley Franklin. Oh, okay, so the guardianship terminated. See, guardianship is terminated as of August 3rd, 2011. And that was back in 2008. So from 2008 to 2011, which is approximately 3 years, her guardianship was terminated. Okay, so let's look at what happened in 1998. Let's see what happened. What the hell happened in 1998? You know, I saw something of the paternity of the father. I'm trying to look for it. And you guys would see that they did a paternity test on the father because he wanted to know if that was his child. And the paternity test came back, it was his child, the Nana guy. And they had to change her middle name to his name, which is Nana. That's where she got the Nana name from. Oh my gosh, I found that, but I don't know. I have to keep looking at all these records so you guys can see it. But it's definitely here. But also, this woman, she has a warrant out for her arrest. Legina has 2 warrants out for her arrest, and I looked it up. So, and since King World want to send people and call all these places to get Jaguar, he needs to do one for Legina, since she has 2 warrants out for her arrest in Michigan. But what he's doing is criminal. You're not supposed to stalk people and send people to go stalk the person. That's criminal activity. So that's why I'm doing this on him, because what he did was wrong. So I'm just showing the potentials and what's on his chart without knowing his ascendant. Just going by his sun sign, which is not really enough. But let me see something here. So his moon is Libra, right? And we're having an eclipse in Taurus. So from his sun, the eclipse will be... I think it's going to be in his 2nd house of money. He'll have a new beginning when it comes to money. Again, this is not probably accurate because the sun sign is what you do. So right now he's trying to increase his money by viewership, by stalking people, harassing people. We already see he has a history of harassing people. But this is going to catch up to him because Saturn does not play. So he has to be very careful because that number 7 doesn't play. It will send your ass back to jail because the number 7 is also isolation in jail and prisons. So he needs to be careful. Although his perfection year is activated in his 10th house, he needs to be very careful. Anyways, I'm tired. My throat is dry. I need to go eat some dinner. Guys, this is all I have to say. This is the King World thing. And I'm not doing any more charts. I just did this just for fun. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching.